Hello everyone, welcome back to the End of the Island podcast with me, Fergus Mainland, live from the WinTech and King tent at Henley Royal Regatta the day before it all kicks off and racing gets underway. For today's very special episode, I am delighted to be joined from Oxford Brookes, Morgan Baynham-Williams and Ali Brown, interim head coach and men's assistant coach, and we've got Ellie Stevens, head of performance pathways at Molesey Boat Club. The three of you, welcome to our studio in the WinTech and King tent. Ali, to you first of all, it's the day before Henley Royal Regatta. How is, I suppose, the mood amongst you and Morgan and the mood in the Brookes camp?
Yeah, it's. I think it's pretty good. We had quite an exciting qualifiers. Very successful, getting a further 7 8s qualified. I think we got a couple of 4s and a quad through on the Saturday. So yeah, mood was pretty high. We were really pleased with that. It was an exciting day, and lots of people, managing to just really enjoy that day and raise their game on that day.
Morgan, 7/8s racing in the 7/8s qualifying for the Temple. How many boats have you got racing at Henley this year?
Yeah, so we've got 5 in the Temple. So
yeah.
I think that we were talking about whether that is a record for Brookes or not. We are going to have 6 men's 8s total. There's going to be 2 coxed 4s. There's going to be 1 quad on the men's side. Then the women's side, they've got 3 women's 8s, and they've got a quad in. So I think that we're going to have a very busy kind of few days. And so much of that is testament to the athletes at the boathouse. I think that so much work goes in behind the scenes, and for some of them at the bottom end, they just feel like they're competing every day for a seat, but they kind of are sparring, and sometimes they feel like they're losing all the time. So when we come out of that Brookes bubble and we race the other people, I think that's when they get really excited, as it's their chance to kind of beat some other people and not necessarily be bottom of the pecking order.
And Ellie, similar question to you. There's a big contingent from Molesey racing at this year's regatta. What are all the boats that you've got to put you on the spot and test you?
Yeah, no, it's really, really exciting for us. So I think we've got something like 125 athletes entered this year. Unfortunately, not all of those qualified, but that's definitely a club record in terms of how many athletes we've brought along to the regatta. Something exciting for us is we have entries spanned across a whole host of events. I think it's 15 different events, perhaps, and that spans on the women's side from entries in the Prince Philip, the Wargrave, the Bridge, up to our Caversham athletes in the Remenham. So across all of the women's 8s, similar on the men's side. A real mixture across the board.
Yeah, amazing. And after winning the Wargrave last year, you must have been, the mood in camp must have been exceptional.
Yeah.
What's that been like, taking that into this season to then step on and go for more this year?
Yeah, really exciting. I think so. Last year we had 2 Wargrave 8s racing, and then we're obviously really happy to get one of those across the line. This year we've got 3 Wargrave 8s racing, so some growth there. And then we've got some of those athletes stepping up into our Bridge 8, the composite we're doing with the University of London, and then also some of those athletes stepping up into the Caversham events. Something else that's exciting for us is also the introduction of the quads events. Those same athletes, one of our Wargrave winners from last year is actually racing in the new Princess of Wales, and then we've got a club quad racing too. So it's all exciting in camp.
Yeah, massively. And speaking of new quad events, we've got Brookes athletes racing and then the quad events as well. What's that sculling project been like for the two of you to pull together and see it come to life?
It's just quite good to give it a go, and I think the Hugo's been quite driven by the women's student quad event. He's done a lot with that, and being able to use a WinTech from Allsport has been really good. Their service has been great, and we've got two quads at this regatta that are using their boats. For us, it's just a stepping stone. I think that we always, we just wanted to dip our toe in it a little bit this year. So for us, just having a quad read out when we read the cruise out, it probably raises some eyebrows. So we're just doing what we say. Actually, we're just giving it a go. I think as a boat club, we're always going to be 8s driven. That's what we do. But with the introduction of with some quad events and maybe in the future there might be a men's student event. You just wanted to give it a go really and not be scared of it. So, we go into, both those just with excitement and nothing else, not too big a deal really.
Yeah, and it sounds like both of you have gone into this season with a huge amount of excitement. A lot of change at Oxford Brookes, but just chatting to the two of you before we came on air, it sounds like you've had an incredibly busy but an incredibly exciting, quite an inspiring year at Brookes this year.
Yeah, I think Morgan will take over for me in a sec, but for me, it's the elephant in the room is pretty big boots to fill, and it's an amazing university and it's got such a great legacy. So not a day goes past where I don't think of the position I'm in and the privilege it is, but with that comes quite a lot of stress as well. And for me, I want to do the best job for the students, but also for the tourist members as well, and everyone at the university. So, I feel like this season's been a bit of a roller coaster. There's been a lot going on, but I'm really proud of where we've got to, and let's hope this last week we can have something to celebrate.
How have you found it?
Yeah, I can echo that. I think the thing to remember is it's one of the most high-performing boat clubs in the UK. So any coach who is interested in working in rowing is going to be drawn to these programs. And our role really is to continue to provide that high-performance environment. I think we're in an era now where you might have just like Leander or Brookes, and we've seen it from the women in Molesey, like they're becoming an absolute juggernaut, and I think we've got multiple programs that are performing and going really fast. We see Cambridge are going really fast. We see the school crews like Radley posting some incredible times. This right now in rowing is probably one of the biggest step forwards that we've seen in terms of speed and output in a long time. And so to be able to have an opportunity to try to continue that or continue those performances in a different environment is great. And I just think that the big powerful kind of part of Brookes itself it's the culture of the athletes that are within it. I think it's their love for the sport and their willingness to be training, and that's really infectious. I think if I look at my own experience as an athlete, probably there are a few core windows where we had those really incredible kind of teammates, but they've got that from their first years all the way up to their kind of graduates or their non-students, and I think that's pretty cool to be a part of and to support.
And Ellie, we last caught up with Sam just before everything kicked off at Henley Women's, and the club obviously went on to win Championship 8s with University of London. What's the past couple of weeks been like getting geared up and ready to rock and roll for Henley Royal?
Yeah, it's been really exciting. So at Henley Women's on the Sunday, we had 7 semi-finals, and that spanned from the Championship 8 and then down across the aspirational events, something that we were really excited about. And certainly excited to have that depth across the squad. We want to be able to develop athletes who are at all different stages of their careers. So to have semi-finals in the sort of Championship 8-4 quad, and then also the aspirational 8-4 quad, was a really big testament to the strength and depth of the pack. So yeah, it's been very exciting. The last few weeks we took a trip out to Ratsburg after Met, before Henley Women's Regatta, to do a bit of international racing. And then it was good to come up across the domestic field with that Championship 8 with the University of London on the Sunday. So yeah, it's all very exciting.
Yeah. How did that whole project come together?
Well, we were really excited to take on Weehawken this year. UL ended up second, we ended up third. And I think both programmes are very fortunate with the development of the athletes, and again, a testament to the athletes in both programmes that some of those athletes for us were Caversham based, so they went back to Caversham, and then in the University of London 8, a few of their girls went back over to Australia. So we were sort of left with athletes across both of the boats who we thought would really be able to contest the bridge. We're really fortunate that we get along really well with the UL coaching team. There's some links there. They're fantastic people over there. So we had a bit of a discussion. We knew we were going to target internally the 8s and the quads, but is there something else that we could do there to bring people together? There's athletes that have known each other for years, so We've got people in our squad that have raced at a high level with athletes over in the UL programme. They are friends already. And so it was quite an organic meeting of the programmes. Again, really fortunate that we get along brilliantly with the coaches over at UL, and so it seemed like a project that we could manage effectively to put together something really exciting. So we went away on camp together, coaches and athletes, and went from there.
Yeah. Amazing. No, it's been fascinating to see it all develop and grow. And I'm conscious as well that, we've got some, between the three of you, you've had some incredible Henley memories over the years, and I appreciate two of you are in new colours for this year's Henley campaign. But it'd be really interested to hear from the three of you, and Ali, perhaps you first of all, sort of over your time and the Henley campaigns that you've put together, what have been some of the standout moments for you?
A couple of seasons ago, I think it was Olympic year, I had the privilege of coaching two quads that both won. One was the Prince of Wales and one was the Queen Mother. And did it with just a small squad of scullers to pull off winning both events. Back to back. It was a miserably rainy day. Everyone. The towpath was full of people saying, "Oh, you don't want to go on that station. You're not going to win on that station." To coach two boats to win from the lesser favoured station in a very, very similar way. That was a pretty proud moment, and that was obviously when I was a high performance coach at Leander, and now I'm at Brookes. So I'm looking to make new memories, but you can't take away how special that was, and that group of scullers. Two of the Queen Mother quad won gold in Lucerne yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to develop future Olympians. I've proved that I can be a part of doing that at Leander, and that's what I want to do at Oxford Brookes. Oxford Brookes isn't just a case of, winning the student events and retiring. That we want to be at the forefront of the student events, but we also want to develop people for the future. We're looking at how can we build an Olympic pathway program? How can we recruit the best rowers in the world to work with Morgan and I? How can we prepare them to the best place to make their national team, best place to go on and make their dreams come true, essentially. So our program in the future, the vision isn't just the eights program where everyone comes down on a minibus in the afternoon. It's bigger than that. It's we're trying to recruit the best athletes that we possibly can. So obviously for undergrads, that's the bread and butter. We want the undergrads to come to the university, men and women. We want to develop them over the 3 years, but we're looking to hear from leading athletes that are slightly at a different point in their career that want to come to make their national teams. So if anybody is interested in reaching out to us, probably the best place to come is message us on the Instagram, and Morgan will get back.
Perfect. And there's your plug there. We'll let you do a similar plug as well, Ellie, as well. There'll be time for that.
Seamless.
Yeah.
You deserve that.
Yeah.
No, you deserve that. That was a great plug.
Ellie, standout Henley campaign or Henley moment for you?
I think mine is probably a collective one, which culminated in that Walgrave win last year. It was only 4 or 5 years ago. We actually only had one entry on the women's side, and it was a single sculler. And so last year was really the culmination of years and years of hard work, and obviously getting across the line is a fantastic memory, but the whole campaign and the whole journey was really important for a lot of those athletes, especially, for example, the Cox, Omar. He's now actually doing some coxing at Caversham also with the Para 4, but that was his 4th Henley campaign with Molesey, and he'd come out of the University of Warwick, and he'd coached the men, the women, all different boat classes, and there was just years of growth and development that went into getting that boat across the line first. I'm hoping this year might be able to add to the Henley highlights. I think a big thing for us is we obviously managed to get that one across the line last year, but it's really important for us that we are we are now rebuilding, and I think it's fair to say rebuilding on the men's side also. We've got our Brit 4 and our Wyfold 4 racing that we're really excited about. They had some great races at Met Marlow. They also came out to Ratsburg, raced a really competitive international field, and that's something that is of utmost importance for us. Is we've built it on the women's side, and we're completely aware that we're in a bit of a rebuild phase also now on the men's side, but we're in an exciting place to do that, and we're really, really looking forward to seeing what they can do this weekend. But plenty to be looking forward to. I'm not sure how I can plug that really. I think Ali just nailed it.
Sorry.
But no, I guess the thing for us is as I said before, we're taking athletes of any level. We run a novice program at Molesey. That's something that in the last couple of years we've got up and running. So we've got a big thing we like to say is we are happy to develop anyone, and we want to develop people. We want to develop athletes. We've got a big sort of grassroots, homegrown feel about us. We think we can make people better at rowing. Basically, and we do truly believe that, and we will individualise anything for the athlete. So it's not a one size fits all approach. We will tailor things on an athlete by athlete basis to get the best out of each and every athlete. And so that's something we're excited about, and hopefully we're in the process of starting to see the rewards of.
Yeah, amazing, fantastic.
And your cafe, there's a cracking flat white and a croissant.
Cafe's unreal.
Yeah.
To be fair, there are some perks. I mean, it's dangerous from a coaching point of view, but yeah, unbelievable cafe. That's another thing. That's the real plug.
The big cafe.
Yeah.
The big
good.
plug is the
What's
cafe.
the cafe called?
It's called 8 by the River.
Yeah.
But
I
8,
see.
the number 8.
Okay.
And it's got a lovely menu, actually, yeah.
I need
There's
to
a
swing
plug
by.
for 8 by the River.
Yeah. Morgan, Henley highlight?
Yeah, I think, winning Henley and the Remenham in 2021 was pretty awesome. I think that was the first time I'd won Henley. I think I'd been in like 6 Henley finals before that and never managed to come the right side of it. But that particular year was a year where I was coaching the pair that also won, and then coaching the 4 that had won as well, and they were within the same 8 that had won the Remenham that year. But I just think when you look back at Henley, and it's hard to know unless you're out there and you do it. But the feeling of getting on the start line, being within the booms, like the gladiatorial arena, it's so different to anywhere else. And I'm like a massive believer that people that come over with the right headspace, like they can do some really, really awesome things here.
Yeah, and speaking of awesome things and awesome people, some of the sculling boats that you've got racing, they're going to be in WinTechs as well. What have those boats been like, and what have the team been like in terms of getting those set up for Royal this year? It's a question for the group, really.
Yeah, happy to
You
go
lead, I'll
first.
follow.
Happy to go first on that one. I think I've touched on it already, but our women's squad has grown. It has grown organically, but certainly very rapidly in the last few years. And so, as soon as the new quads events were announced, we knew it was something we wanted to really target, and we're super grateful. We started off with one Cobra, which is for our Danesfield quad, and then we liked it so much that we begged for another one. So now we've got a couple of them, and yeah, it's just been absolutely fantastic for us. We're loving it. I think Sam actually mentioned the other day, when he was speaking here, that we seek a lot of feedback from the athletes. It's great to see how the boat's running through the water, and certainly the Cobra that we started out with, the way it lifts out of the water and seems to stay out of the water is fantastic. But certainly, yeah, we ask the athletes for their feedback, and we trust them. We trust what they're saying. They've got a lot of experience, and they are really, really loving racing in the quads, and so. Yeah, super grateful to be able to be using 2 of those in 2 of the quads events.
Very nice. How's it going down at Brookes?
Well, I'd just like to say that really, Jack and Andrew, it's the team behind it as well. For me, if I've got a problem, I text Jack and I'll say, look, I think these boys are a bit too big for this boat, and he's like, well, send me a video, and it looks all right, and then I said, I really think they're a bit big for the boat, and he's like, well, okay, we'll sort you out another one, and I know that I'm getting special treatment, and I appreciate can't do that for everyone, but it's how approachable they are, even to the point where if we race in a boat, he texts to say, well done, or how was that, you happy with that? And for me, I think that's probably what makes me really loyal to him. I think our relationship is probably one-sided, me taking and them giving at the moment. But I do appreciate that. And, with the future of, maybe a little bit more sculling with the new events coming in, their boats are great and the service is brilliant. I can't fault it at all. And massive thanks to them personally as well as All Sport for continued support, really.
Amazing. And just finally, I'm conscious that you've got coaching and things and other responsibilities to go and do. But what are you most looking forward to about this year's regatta, Ali?
So a big tradition at Oxford Brookes is the watering can reception, where they basically have Pimm's from a watering can on the Saturday evening. Now, obviously, I've got bigger priorities than that in terms of the coaching, but I'm just trying to embrace all the different sides of Oxford Brookes, as well as just the rowing side. There's a massive tourist network out there, and like I said at the beginning, big boots to fill. Yes, we've got to perform at the highest level, but it's a university and it's a culture, and it's something that I really want to embrace, and I want to get to know as many of the tourist members as possible. And I essentially, if on behalf of Morgan and I, we kind of want to just show them it's in safe hands and we're kind of doing our best for them. What am I most excited about? Just seeing so many people race and enjoy it. Win or lose, they've trained so hard to be here. With our 6th 8th qualifying, 5th 8th qualifying into the it's the 6th 8th. So the 6th 8th qualifying into the Temple, that was so special. And shout out to the guys that missed out as well, because they did brilliantly. But everyone is trained so hard, so for them to have something that their friends and family can come and support them on and feel really proud, for me, that's a big part of why I do the sport.
Yeah, fantastic. Ellie, what about you?
I think probably not too dissimilar a vein, actually. We're at Molesey, we're in quite a niche situation in that we are obviously an amateur club that's run by a committee of volunteers. And as I said, we've got a historic entry this year. We've got a load of athletes, men and women. And I think for me, it's going to be really exciting to see them all. They're banded together. We always say it's all of us or none of us. And this year, we're going to have the committee coming along to support them, get them out in the launches, watch the people race that they all know personally. They put so much behind supporting not only the coaching team but also all of the athletes, and we're very grateful to the club for what they do to support basically the high performance senior group. And so for them to be able to watch them race and just really enjoy themselves is I think something that we're all really looking forward to this week.
Fantastic. And Morgan, we give you the final word.
Yeah. I think I'm looking forward to just letting them get going. I think they almost feel like they're trained a bit like a small army, a small little military. But they all, respective of whatever rank they are in terms of Temple A, B, C, D, E, or whether they are PAA, PAB, whether they're ladies, whatever crew they are, they've all got a plan, they've all got a job to do, they've all got something they want to execute. And I think just giving them that freedom and kind of liberty to do that is really important. As an athlete myself, that was my favourite part. So I think letting them go out and just do their thing, do their job, I think is great, and that's what I want to see.
Fantastic. Well, very best of luck to all of your crews, the hundreds of Brookes and Molesey athletes who will be racing over the course of the next 6 days, right the way through to finals day, hopefully. Touch wood. I think there's some down there I can, tap on. But thank you so much for your time just now. Really appreciate it, all of you. This has been a very special episode of the End of the Island podcast, live from the WinTech and King tent. And we will be back tomorrow as we kick off daily tea time shows right the way through till Saturday. And we'll be wrapping up all of our Henley Royal Regatta coverage 1 week today on Monday as well. But that's all we've got time for today's episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next time at the End of the Island.